So, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Wow! Sorry for that. Well, here we are. We have to continue. We have to continue making art. Wow! Beautiful. The most entertaining thing in the world. Man, what a crazy thing it is to see that. We still have so much stuff to do. Related to art specifically. But wait. Yeah, wait. Well, I guess we simply have to keep enduring the painful process of creating something artistical, as they would say. I don't know. I don't really care. The only kind of weird thing is to see how much it really ended up taking me to make all of this a reality, you know. I wasn't even close to expecting all of this to last for already almost 7 whole streams. And even less, I think at this point I might have as well spent, let me check that also. Let me see. I did around. I did around 1 hour, 2 hours, almost 3 hours with the fifth and second part. Almost 3 hours. We can say consistently 3 hours, 4 hours, 5, 6 hours. No, 5 hours. Yeah, 2 more hours and those round up to another 5 with the resting time. Let's say 5 hours and 20 minutes or something like that, I guess. Then we have next second day 6 hours probably. 7 hours with the fifth part, and with the sixth part we are on 7 hours. So with 7 hours and some scarce minutes grouped that all together, we end at 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, okay, 10 hours so far. And I don't know how much more we're going to be here today. So I don't know. I wouldn't have ever expected to spend 10 hours doing anything artistical of this sort. And wait, why the fuck does this not properly pick up the microphone that it has to pick up and to utilize for my voice detection? What is your problem, Vtuber? I thank you for not working. Anyways, now here we are properly working. Sorry for that. Okay. Anyways, going back into this. We have to go here, and we have to get also the text this, my man. Transition. Okay, there it is. Here we are. Well, okay. Now, what to do? Last time we did, we finished this, or I think we started and finished this. No. I guess we finished this. I might as well have started this not yesterday but the day before yesterday, and we finished this building over here. We added all the details and all of that. We did the Twitch thing over here, and also added some colors. Yeah. Now I think I will sadly have to change this particular part of the whole sign. I think it doesn't really mix well to have this on one side and to have nothing else really to compare almost the colors and all of that over here. So I will have to swap these colors for the sake of a better mixture and a better more beautiful palette of colors to see on that end over here, and also over here we did this quote-unquote building. I only added some details, and I also was kind of feeling remorseful because this is incredibly badly shifted. I mean, it feels like what is it? Like one of those cylinders that get rotated, something like that. And this isn't a cylinder, this is a fucking rectangle. So yeah, it is incredibly badly rotated. So yeah, we did this, but anyways, we're going to continue simply with this part over here. Changing those colors. Not that I guess, I know. And well, aside from that, yeah, very fine, as always. Also, as I said, I didn't ever expected to spend so much time as we're doing here today, like this. Truly surprising to see how many hours can be put on a project like this. I guess at the very least it is going to pay off in the sense of it is going to be quote unquote nice to see. I don't truly know at this point. Whatever happens, I guess it comes also from the side of understanding how art should be seen as. I am doing this more than anything else, not simply for the factor of wow, I want to have an eye-catching picture. I want to have something that catches the audience attention, but rather I want to have something nice, and because it is nice, and even more obviously, not only me personally, but almost everybody who does something of the artistical sort, because they want to have something nice, it is that they go through such lengths to create it, basically. And I don't know. I think we are doing kind of fine on that sense. We have not so many problems. Different colors mixed properly. I guess, yeah, in a sense, I completely picked, sadly, or the best thing created so far was the sky. So in that sense, sadly, we picked with the sky and we picked with all of the different details that it has. Compared to the rest of the image, I didn't ever expect to create something as nice as that, and at the very least, I would wish, if everything else fails, to be interesting to see, at the very, 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 very least, to have the proper, let's say, attention-grabbing thing with the sky itself, at the very least, as I try to say. But anyways, aside from that, I know that, for example, sadly, so many details are going to get lost in the way, and nobody is going to pay attention as it tends to happen with anything truly artistical. I mean, I don't know why people doesn't come into acceptance with that so much nowadays. And I guess also, to a certain sense, it might as well be necessary for the portion of creating something artistical to see and to realize that everything that you do might as well not even get any attention paid whatsoever, and that at the very least, if you are going to create something nice of that sort, you might as well enjoy it as much as you can, because although one wants to express something with what they are creating, it is also part of the process itself to realize and to dwell into the idea of, not that many people will really have an interest over ever experiencing what you did, as not that it isn't entertaining simply, but rather that it truly lacks other proper motivations behind it, let's say. And I don't know, I guess we're doing kind of fine in that sense. We are getting myself entertained. I also, as I have talked yesterday, I had the possibility of truly pondering a lot meanwhile doing this. I don't know. I wouldn't want to make it more regular. I don't, yeah. Unless we were to get something like proper equipment to do art, I would not even wish to do art that much. I mean, I am doing this in particular because I also have the reason of believing that it might as well be a good thing to have for the sake of, as I said before, possessing a nice picture that might as well catch the eye of those wanderers all over the place, that by simply seeing something nice, they decide that it is more than worth of their time, let's say. But I don't know. I'm still struggling with that. As I said, I think it is also necessary to the artistical process to not really believe that something like that is even going to happen, but rather to have the notion that I don't know. I haven't really observed it like from that perspective. should you be prepared to see that everything is going to fail or something like that while still doing your best? I mean, how can you try to do something of that sort while still how can you try your best on anything while still believing that it might fail without unbalancing the situation? I mean, how to see it properly? I guess it might as well have to deal with the not consequence, but rather with the fact of it's, let's say, relating in some way or another with any particular artistical vision or something like that. I don't know. I don't really know. That has to integrate into it the fact that, okay, all of the things that you create don't deserve to be seen by anybody, as nothing really has any particular value that needs to be completely valued just because it exists. The value gets determined by those who see it and those who criticize what was already created and what was already established, and utilize those particular, let's say, those particular, those determinations basically to say if whatever else that you did is worth or not, compared to what you expected sometimes. I guess, I don't know, should you try to put your intentions forward in that sense? I mean, trying to see it from this perspective, you might as well bring your creations into quote-unquote the market. And also be clear with what you are wanting from them, I will guess. Probably it will be a beneficial thing to do, because also you can somehow measure if your intentions are correctly. Let's say like this. Maybe if you were to put your intentions together with the whole thing that you created, all of them displayed in front of your creation itself, people will also have the chance of valuing if your intentions behind that particular creation are the correct type of intentions, as we don't have the complete capacity of being the most correct beings in the world in any particular way whatsoever, but we still hold the chance of somehow, let's say, measuring properly if what we are doing, based on our social feedback, is the correct things. As I mean, it doesn't mean that society is always correct on their values, but it means that most of the time, at the very least, you can try to believe that society is good enough deciding what is good and what is bad. As it might as well be, true that not every single day society is going to tell you the complete truth or be completely an all-knowing entity. As I mean, society itself is also comprised of people like you, who has to deal with these same type of problems, and who has to also see and analyze all of their different perspectives, and to put them all together against the rest of the society. I mean, I will guess in that sense maybe we lose commonly the sense of society being always comprised of tinier individuals. In some cases, I will try to argue probably that it somehow, quote unquote, somehow happens that society doesn't really focus that much on any particular thing. But I don't see it as such a negative thing, I will guess. Because more than anything else, I will believe that the truth is society itself holds almost no necessity whatsoever of containing, let's type of argue, the different styles that are comprised and born out of this same type of deliberation that gets created among the society itself, no? But I don't know, I don't see it as something negative because of that, but rather a common occurrence, I will try to say, more than anything else, as at the end of the day, society doesn't have any necessity whatsoever to do stuff like that. It is only that because society wants to go for something good always, they are trying to establish these type of things. You could have a society in where people literally have no artistical sense whatsoever, and where whoever tries to have any artistical value would be completely punished, as it means that maybe you're spending more time than it is necessary focusing on stuff that is completely irrelevant to the whole factory of creating new machines to keep advancing into the future or something like that. But we'll graciously enough live in a society in which we find ourselves dealing with all of these questions because we see and we can value, even if it isn't consciously, we can see the importance of artistical pieces as they end up taking a place in the collective unconscious mind, so big and so notoriously necessary almost for all of us, that it ends up representing a good portion of all of this. I will say, I don't know. But yeah, also, okay, let me try to finish this. And I incredibly forgot to do one of the most necessary things, and that was to check audio. So, I might as well go to do so after finishing. I don't know if this theme in particular or if this whole structure over here. So let me see. Are we lagging? No, we aren't lagging so far, it seems. But yeah, I guess I will also take some time to drink water. Meanwhile, give me a second. I am thirsty, my man. Another analogy. The right potato, basically the same thing. Anyways, here we are. Yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah. I would kind of say what a bliss it is to see that we can have the possibility of thinking about art as something necessary instead of overvaluing different stuff. I don't know if we can really talk about art and say that it is completely necessary and not to be wrong, because we know that we live in such a type of society where we value already art, let's say. Okay, I think we can try to attack that point in particular with something like art might as well be so important that we overvalue it, in the sense in which we nowadays have sometimes to pay millions and millions of dollars, or yeah, thousands upon millions sometimes. I guess it doesn't happen much just in case. Let me also add thousands upon millions of dollars of or well, I think, yeah, billions. Well, I think it hasn't happened so far. Sorry for saying bullshit. But yeah, incredible amounts of money for an artistical piece. Something that ends up not simply showing you as in, wow, you know nothing, but rather simply allowing you to have another anchor back to reality, let's say. And because we failed to integrate all of those particularly born from art things, and to allow them to happen more naturally in everybody's life, we nowadays also have an scarcity over art. When, or I don't know if exactly nowadays, maybe in a sense we're kind of, let's say, regaining all of that with the different type of arts that can be seen through, for example, I will guess, cinema, more quote-unquote normal type of entertainments such as television, and I guess, yeah, not that I guess, I completely know that to an extent, if you were to try and search for them, you will also find incredibly artistically valued pieces of YouTube videos, for example. And I mean, even streams sometimes can be so artistically interesting that they by themselves end up feeling in almost another complete category, just because they have that type of style to them. And yeah, I mean, going back to it, all of those things were overvalued at some point, and nowadays we might be dealing with that problem after realizing that we fucking need art, my man. We shouldn't be making art so scarce as it feels most of the time, and we should allow more art to exist and to be born and to be made for the sake of having something of that sort exist, as I wouldn't try to even say that, art has no necessity whatsoever in the life of anybody, when in reality it is one of the most unconscious mind attracting things that you can possess. And yeah, going back to what I wanted to say also. Sadly, because we can see that it is so incredibly beneficial to that sort of stimulus, we also lost the meaning when we decided to try to assign any monetary value behind it, as it doesn't really have any particular use and it doesn't really have any particular utility to try and make it be of that sort. I will try to guess probably it was I don't know if what I am going to say might as well be putting the blame on those who have an interest over that, let's say, because maybe trying to talk about the problem that is to try and assign monetary value to art is try to, in a way, downplay those who create art, because at the end of the day, the most logical thing, you have to fucking eat, my man. I guess. No, yeah, no. Yeah. I was going to say something completely logical. Like, I guess some people will do art completely for free, but no. Let's say like this. Probably if they had the possibility of creating as much art as they could and sustain themselves without even 1 second of their life worrying about money, in that moment, then yeah, we will have incredibly more, not talented as if we didn't have them, but rather more free talented minds instead of constrained by their situations talented minds. Because I will say that because of it, the type of creativity that we possess nowadays is different to the one that will exist in a reality in which we predicated more and we talk more about the necessity that it was to have something good of this sort, no? But yeah, I don't really also see it as so bad. I mean, probably the best thing to try and say in this situation is we're not doing so bad in the sense of creating art, and we're not doing so well in some other areas, sadly, but it is still is going somewhere, let's say. And by simply realizing that we might as well not be doing so bad, it is that you can also be happy with it, let's say. And yeah, also, I think I will add some shadings over here. I will try to add some shadings for the sake of having more detail and for the sake of also establishing once again. No. Yeah, I don't like this one. Let me make it a little bit darker. Around, let me see here. Here this should be enough, no? Yeah, this is enough, I guess. Yeah, as I was saying, I will probably add these details for the sake of also extrapolating them into the next building. So, once again, to merge all the different colors and to not utilize them only on one place, but rather to have them use on different areas of this stuff, So yeah, very, very crazy, let's say. And also, wait, I forgot to check fucking audio, sorry. Yeah, let me, wait, give me a pause. Give me a moment because I want to do that before continuing. I forgot to do it earlier. Do we have proper audio? Yeah. It feels kind of muffled, I think, I don't know. But it might as well be my voice. I know that I am having a kind of weird voice now, today, particularly, so yeah. Anyways, here we are. We are alive. Okay, here. Let me go back into this sort. I don't know, sometimes I guess I get kind of crazy with audio and all of that. But yeah, as I was trying to say, where I was, yeah, art. What a crazy thing it is to be artistical. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the possibility of having a society in which you could allow people to be as creative as they want would be interesting. I mean, for example, one of the most, in that sense, interesting concept is destructive creativity, something that we tend to do when we don't have any necessity whatsoever of being in such a calm state, let's say. And yeah, my throat is fucking dying. I guess allowing stuff like that to happen outside the normal barrier, and even more by pure mm, I wouldn't know if it is simply by the pure sake of it or more like for the possibility of it being properly put anywhere. As in, let's try to say, yeah, you get bored, and because you get bored, you might as well want to see how you can get entertained once again. And in that same sense, also, I will say the creativity that we tend to create nowadays is the one born from the boredom itself that gets created when you have such problems as limiting your people to truly try and see if what they are doing is great or not, limiting what your people can try and realize with their actions, and limiting, for example, the different types of tools that we have. I mean, sadly nowadays we don't really possess that much tools to allow literally anybody to create whatever they want. You will need to put X amount of hours to properly draw into a paper what you wanted. And the more detailed your vision is, the more time, the more exponentially big is the amount of time that you will need to put to create that particular artistical vision also into the paper itself. And I guess in that sense, we, not that we are doing, but at the very least we are noticing it, because I will be surprised if I were to be the only human talking about this at this point in time. As in, yeah, this isn't obviously only my idea. This might as well be a problem, quote unquote problem, a notion that we are dealing with since long time ago. And to try and solve it is probably the big question of this era. Probably. I hope, I wish. I mean, maybe we're not going to have that much of a possibility of saying, yeah, we solved this particular problem. As in a sense, it sadly happens that, for example, in some other areas where we're focusing, where I think we should calm down a little bit with fucking money making stuff, but rather see that no human really needs to have billions of dollars on their on their backs, let's say. And although it shouldn't also be an state matter to remove that money, it should be more of a necessary matter for those humans to realize that they might as well have the possibility of allowing others to be as happy as they are. As in a sense, almost, not that I mean and that I think, it is said by those people, and it is also explained by those same people, or by the vast majority of them, that they really don't gain anything when they have so much money, and they start to change their focuses on stuff completely unrelated to money when the money problem gets solved, let's say. But yeah, I don't know. I guess going to try and tie down all of these things, I don't know. I will guess at the very least trying to work on it is interesting. I will try to say, no. At the end of the day, not everybody gets the possibility of being as good as they can on whatever they can every single day of their life. I mean, it is also kind of fucking tiring, I will say. No. So, anyways, is it even noticeable that there are some colors, some quote-unquote shadings over there? No, not that much, but anyways. I guess, yeah, I still have to add this over here, man. This is pain. To realize that, oh my god, I also forgot to add shadings here. Okay, I forgot to add them on this particular set of windows. I don't know why. Oh, for a second I was worried that I was going to need to add shadings of both types now, my man. I don't know why I forgot to add the clear ones. I guess it was a deliberate decision or something like that. I think I don't enter that much of a unconscious state when doing anything. I don't know. Going back to it. And well, what I was also trying to say is, maybe the creativity that gets born from having the possibility of exploring as much as you can might as well be a thing to consider. I don't know if something good or something bad, simply a thing to consider in life, and a thing to try and wish for us. At the end of the day, having the possibility of doing as much as you can with the different tools and resources that you have. I mean, I don't simply believe it as, wow, I might be wrong. I am completely sure that it works this way. You have the possibility of doing something like that, you are completely happy. And you have the possibility even more of enjoying all the types of art that you want, you are going to truly be happy. But the problem is, what I said before, we don't really have the tools for every single human to do anything minimally similar to that. And to having to dedicate so much time of the life to try and pursue capacities minimally close to anything. What the fuck is going on? Mouse? PC? Hello? What? Greta? Did we crash? Greta, what is going on? What the fuck, Greta? What the fuck? What? What? Okay, Greta. Yeah, I guess we're going to lag. Wait. Let me check. Oh yes, we're lagging. We're not lagging. It only lagged on Krita. What the fuck? Anyways, what the fuck? Yeah, going back to this, and I don't know. I guess it is kind of sad to see that so many people might as well be capable of creating something so beautiful, and I guess in that sense, we go back into what I had been talking about for all of this time. That maybe we have an educational system that fails its individuals because it doesn't really have the capacity of properly teaching people to try and be as creative as they can for the sake of realizing that their particular creations are truly impactful on the world. Although they might not even be capable of realizing it themselves, it still happens that any creative creation on itself adds so much more value to the life of the humans that have it around and existing that it might as well be completely invaluable, let's say, on that front. But I don't know. I guess we might as well not be doing so bad, so bad, as I wouldn't try to say that at least some people has the notion that they need to be creative. And at least some people has, although it might be an quote-unquote unnatural, unconscious notion of this, they still strive to have creative things going on for themselves. I mean, any type of artist might not realize that what you are doing is incredibly beneficial to the different societies in which they live, but they still keep doing it, although they do not seem to realize how valuable it is and how necessary it also is. I mean, it will feel incredibly nice, and it will feel, possibly if we were capable of truly teaching people something like that, and we were to ignite a new era of people being as creative as they can while still surviving. Not that is also a problem, I guess. Yeah, before saying anything else, I guess we first need to fix problems like world hunger. Obviously, that is more important than this. After that, we can start to talk about creativity, and we can start to talk about how necessary it is to have creative people, and we can also start to give people the proper resources to do so. It also adds so many values to your life to be creative. You yourself, as it, for example, might as well give you the possibility of putting things into paper or into any particular form that you like the most. I don't know, into singing, into playing some particular instrument, into drawing with pencil, with a tablet, with painting itself, utilizing chalk, utilizing whatever type of medium that you like, and allowing that to happen naturally in your life, and allowing that even more to take place in a, let's say, in a common occurrence throughout your life, might as well be a gift that gives you so much liberation from the stress that sometimes happens. I mean, I don't think it is something related to any particular culture. every single one of them end up in some way or another realizing the necessity that is to put concepts down, and the necessity that is to draw stuff down, and simply to allow it in your case to happen might as well be the best thing that you could try to do, as it simply is something that is so common across life that believing that you somehow are exempt from that, I mean, maybe in a more prosperous world, we might say that you have 4 necessities or 4 completely vital necessities. They want to feed, they want to sleep, they want to do your physical stuff like going to the bathroom, and well, 5 also they want to have healthcare, and in this case they want to be creative. I mean, probably I will guess based on what I am trying to say, but I don't know. I still believe that it takes a more important place the priority of let's see if we can fix or not. Let's fucking fix world hunger first before doing anything creative related, you know. So yeah, basically that I don't know. I guess we have simply observed something interesting of that sort, and now we pondered like, I don't know how much. Let me see. Yeah, almost 40 minutes on it. Amazing, as it tends to happen always. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think yes, it is on the same line about it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it is kind of boring to talk so much about the same topic, but I still think it is still amazing to see that, for example, so many people, although they don't have any particular reward given to them because they are creative, they still wish to be creative as much as they can. Something that might as well be endearing to see and beautiful to realize that it also shows you the possibilities that you have about being creative. Because even if those people who are not getting the best out of it are realizing that they need to keep creating that type of stuff, even if those who are not being the richest persons in the world are being still creative, and even if somebody, I wouldn't try to utilize the example of somebody who isn't properly living because they decide to pursue it, any particular creative endeavor. I think it is great to, yes, notice that what you are doing with your creativity is necessary for the world, but at the same time, I will try to say that probably believing that you have no necessity whatsoever of it being, let's say, balanced with the rest of your life might be a wrong idea at some point. Not that I guess. I will say, for the sake of having people not fucking dying because they wanted to make any particular piece of art, let's say like that. And yeah, aside from those people, aside from those types, you can say that the rest is an incredibly endearing thing to see, as they also reveal that nowadays we're slowly focusing or shifting our focus at the very least over anything that is minimally creative related, let's say. And yeah, I don't know. Also, wait, I want to see. Can I make something like something like this? Let me see. Give me a second because I am cooking here. Now I make this. This is going to be a test, an incredible test at that also. Give me a second because I need to visualize it. Give me a second. We're doing something. We're getting somewhere with this. Believe. Have belief. Have confidence, as they would say. As fucking Pecora would say. This is looking great, man. This is what I was looking for. This is quality. This is fucking quality. Oh my god. We're getting somewhere. Mom, I am an artist, as they would say. Wow. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry for that. Sorry for getting so into this. I guess in a sense also something interesting is to see that we we might have the possibility, as I said before, of developing a society in which people might as well be completely creative without any worry whatsoever of what they are creating, not being bowed because they need to live. But I don't properly know. I mean, maybe the error, quote unquote error, is to believe that it is necessary to remove stuff like that, as it might as well be completely necessary because people is already dying of hunger and because people is already having problems monetizing other creative endeavors. Sadly, as it, I mean, that is the unending problem of being creative. Believing that sometimes you don't have a necessity whatsoever of making it money efficient, let's say, when in reality you have not only the necessity, you almost have the obligation if you want to keep creating whatever it is that you are creating, to make it as good as it can be, for the sake of also allowing people to see it more, you know. But I don't know. Kind of crazy to see that happening nowadays. Now let me try to make a straight line over here. Also one over here. Oh my god, I'm a fucking perspective master. No, not so much. But simply it happens that I guess I can remember someone doing something like this at some point in time. I guess I don't know. But yeah, going back into it. I also know. Maybe the problem is to believe that you can have a society like that, when in reality, you might as well have a necessity over assigning monetary value to different things that are related to creativity itself, as they need to be perceived as something valuable. I mean, maybe in that sense, money has that usage probably, and has that incredibly good focus, let's say, because it can allow you to see, and it can allow you even more to realize that, okay, somebody also said that this has this particular value already. Maybe if I were to buy this for me, and maybe if I were to have this present on my life, I might see any particular benefit by having it, compared to believing that you have no necessity whatsoever of possessing anything creative related, let's say. But I don't know. And in that sense, I still don't believe it is completely necessary to have money be the driving factor behind buying anything creative. I mean, I believe that also, I don't know, numbers might as well remove any particular value that something creative might have, because you are deciding arbitrarily how much value it possesses. I'm trying to say, okay, this is more valuable than this other thing, probably, because this has bigger number than this other thing. Also, in that sense, we might as well not be going into the correct direction by believing that money is a good driving factor. Let's argue, but I don't know. I guess, at the very least, trying to decodify, as they would say, how to deal with that problem is a good solution. Not a good solution. What the fuck is a good idea? I mean, I haven't heard so far any good proposition whatsoever about it. At least on my life, at least. But yeah, going back into it without being so cynical. Sorry. I guess the possibility of doing something creative and having it have as much value as it can is very endearing, let's say, as it allows you to also notice that maybe what you are creating is going to be noticed by the whole rest of the world, let's say, in the sense of it having so much potential and having so much utility to the whole world that everybody can not only see it but put properly their money where your value is, or not only your value, all the artistical value, let's say. And I guess, yeah, in that sense, the only problem might be to believe that somehow we have a necessity over assigning some pieces more value than others, going back into what I was saying before. in some cases, believing that some art is more precious than other. I mean, probably the one which had more time behind it might try to be more detailed and might try to convey more ideas. Probably, but I still don't think it is a proper solution to the problem of not to a problem, literally to simply the idea. Or how many pixels is this? 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6. Okay, give me a second. What are 4? We need to be 6. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Maybe the whole proposition of trying to have a more balanced degree of that is interesting enough to try and work on it already, more than enough. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we are simply overthinking it sometimes. I guess so far we can say this. It is interesting to consider it. It is still, as I said before, not the best problem to try and tackle nowadays, as it also happens that this particular problem doesn't really occupy the biggest place of importance in our actual society. There are things that are more important than simply this, you know? And yeah, I don't know. We're good so far. We're good. Let's leave it at that. We're good. We should be worrying over more important stuff, as I said before. Fucking war and hunger, for example. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, also, for example, on that front, it is incredibly crazy to see that a lot of times people don't even want to talk about it and don't even want to acknowledge that it is such a fucking problem still nowadays. When, I mean, I wish it wasn't, and I wish it wasn't like that, and I wish even more we had the real possibility of saying, nah, what? You're buying yourself if you decide to talk about this. When in reality it sadly happens that so many people are still affected by it. And the best thing is, in every fucking country of the world, there is no place where you can say nobody is dying of hunger in this particular country. There might be some areas in some particular states, some particular provinces, some particular whatever of a particular country, but overall it still doesn't mean that those countries are doing greater than the rest. It only means that those particular countries have solved some of the biggest pressing issues that is, not those countries, those places have solved one of those biggest issues that is to have people fucking dying of something that we have so much to give away. And simply now they are trying, probably because we know about them, I will say, to teach the rest of the world how to deal with all of that knowledge and how to distribute more properly, once again, all of that stuff, you know. But I don't know. I will sadly say that we haven't found any real solution whatsoever so far to this particular problem. I mean, I guess if we would have found any particularly good one, we might as well not be still dying or having people dying of hunger. Probably. But I don't know, I mean, we have, on that same sense, for example, we have the other problem of mental health not even, nowadays, not even being paid enough attention, for example, also. And yeah, I don't know, I don't think it is part of saying what we have solved and what we haven't solved and good and wow, we are doing so bad, but rather, once again, to stay hopeful in the sense of maybe somebody can devise an incredibly good solution for it. At the end of the day, you never know where it might come from, and you might also never know. Going back into the human potential and the human creativity, if your mind isn't going to be the one that gives birth to that particular solution that we are searching, that we have been searching for so long, I guess the only problem also is to say stuff like that and to believe that nobody is going to feel pressure now. Sadly, it happens that when you say stuff like that, people get incredibly pressured because now, what? Do you mean that I can be creative and that I can somehow solve one of the biggest problems on the whole earth? Do you mean that I might as well be responsible for doing something like that? But do you mean that I have the responsibility of doing it? Oh no! No, my man. I simply say it from the side of maybe you can try and you can see for yourself what your results are going to be. And you can be not so worried. Because also, I mean, at least, even if you fail, you tried and you contributed to this so far unending problem. But I don't know, I mean, also to believe that it is so incredibly easy to solve is to lie. If it was so easy to solve, we would have obviously done so ages ago, eons ago. Not, wow, now you're going to find the solution. But I don't know, maybe, I mean, also, all of that is still beliefs and still things that, as I said before, might as well reveal some darker truth or something like that. I don't know. That maybe you try it and you fucking solve it. You never know. So maybe believing in yourself was the solution all along, and trying to do it and trying to see that, wow, maybe this was the particular response whatsoever. I don't know. For example, something that I particularly know is the incredible capabilities that the boy has to being self-sufficient. And when you can see it properly and when you can have it happening properly, you can truly realize that most of the times you don't even need that much food to be alive and to not die of starvation more than anything else. You can, yes, to a certain extent still worry about it, but it doesn't really mean that you need to get completely crazy about it. I mean, for example, one of the most interesting studies done on that front is to see that sometimes those animals who are starved a little bit have longer lives. Something that on this front of not dying of hunger might as well feel completely contradictory. But I mean also, it comes from the amount of understanding that any particular society can cultivate, because that particular idea is very easily understood once you also grasp the concept of, well, yeah, obviously something like that is going to happen when you allow your body to consume the dead parts that are affecting negatively all of the rest, and when you're constantly doing so for the sake of staying alive more than anything else. Maybe if you weren't to be so incredibly rude to a certain degree with your body, maybe you're going to have a better life, and maybe you're also going to see that your particular life might as well be endowed with one of the best gifts, that is a long life. Because I mean, yeah, I don't know. I will, on a different front, I will try to say also, if you somehow believe that having a long life was something bad, you simply need to have proper goals. It is one of the best things to try and go for. Literally to live so long that you can see generations and generations, and also not simply to see them and be a fucking spectator of the world. To play a role on reality is also a blessing, and to play a role in the whole history of the world is also an incredibly good thing to try and go for. I mean, not for the sake of saying that, wow, this is a goal that you should have. No, man. This is something that people keeps realizing time after time after time, that it happens like that, and that you can be incredibly nice and find incredibly amazing places by trying to do something of that sort, instead of believing that now you don't have any responsibility whatsoever of being happy or possessing, I don't know, something that doesn't make you feel negative or anything of that sort. When in reality, going back to it, you might as well see that your capacities of influencing any particular environment are more increased the more you realize that you literally have those capacities, and the more you can also grasp those capacities, it is also that once again you go back into it and you realize that, you know what, situations can easily change sometimes. Not every single one of them, but sometimes yes. And if those times get more and more increased because you put more and more effort, and also, I mean, I don't know, yeah, this is a completely different problem in and on itself. To believe that, for example, you need to not push yourself so hard sometimes, no? because it also has to deal, as I was trying to say, with the concept of men. You can be so influential and you can be so incredibly capable of existing and playing an important role in societies, but also sometimes we decide to say, but you need to keep yourself safe. Wow, wow. My man, yes, but what is the point of saying it to somebody who should be an adult and should understand that they need to take care of themselves? You need obviously also to take care of who you are and what you have and your body and your physical health and your mental health and all of that stuff, yes. But it still doesn't mean that you should not strive as much as you can for any type of wish that you have. At the end of the day, trying to negate from you that possibility might as well be more harmful than any other type of killing or assassination that we can commit as a society, I would say. But I don't know. Very, very nice hotel this one turned out to be. I like this one. I don't know. I don't know which type of aesthetic is that makes it seem nice to me. I think the fact that it doesn't look so fucking ugly, although it is completely not even a square or a rectangle, is what makes it also look nice. I don't know. Anyways, I mean, yes, basically that. Be happy. Strive for something. Try to go for whatever it is that you wish and see how much you can do after doing it. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do now. I mean, I have so many options. I will drink water. That is what I am going to do right now. Yeah, I am back. I think that is also something that I have been thinking. The whole let me explain. Let me explain it properly. I think I had like one entire minute of thinking, being like, I don't know, 5 minutes of stuff compressed all together. It was something like you can realize that all of the things that you can go for in your life sometimes are affected by the society in which you live, yes, but it also happens that those societies might as well not really realize that your objectives might also have an incredibly bigger influence than what at first it seems to meet the eye, let's say. And if you were to give the world the possibility of seeing also for themselves that maybe what you are wishing for is not so negative, maybe if you were to do something of that sort, and maybe even more if you were to allow the whole world to see that what you were trying to do for it was in some particular way, whichever one it is, beneficial for it, and obviously more than anything else, allow it to happen and allow it to be born into this world. Maybe as long obviously as you're basing yourself on good intentions, as long as something like that were to exist, maybe you could be, let's say, happy because it is in those cases that what you did was worth it to observe, let's say. And I mean, not only in that sense, but also on the belief based on what you can create might be so influential that not only it solves one particular problem, but it ends up solving a whole array of problems. Like, for example, I wouldn't think about it and I wouldn't even believe that what I said about is even close to being a reality. But for the sake of basing it into something that we have already discussed, maybe if you were to solve the problem of creativity, and maybe if you were to believe that solving it is necessary, when you do it, you also solve as a consequence of it, or as a secondary effect of what you did, the problem itself of, for example, world hunger. Because in a sense, for example, try to see it from this base idea. In some cases, it might happen that we believe it isn't necessary to have people be properly put together for the sake of being creative, let's try to say. When in reality, what happens the most is they need to be incredibly so fine for the sake of creating anything that they might as well need to live in as much satiation as they can. And we need to provide them with all of the different tools that are needed. Therefore, we might as well need to, first and foremost, in that particular case, for example, solve the world hunger problem for the sake of having a world in which we cannot worry so much about the particular value that any artistical creation has, and to allow also any artistical creation to be born without any preoccupation whatsoever if it is going to be valued or not. Because in that particular setting of a world, it might also happen that you could find it to be incredibly full of people doing and appreciating so much art that even the tiniest and the slightest one of them is as precious as the next one, basically. So yeah, I don't know. That is one of the few examples. But it happens with any particular thing, And to believe that you have no necessity whatsoever of putting that up front into reality and to allow the society in which you live to tell you that your particular efforts are meaningless, and even more that they should not be necessary for this world to exist, let's say, all of those things might be an incredibly big detriment to your, obviously to the mental health that you have, because at the end of the day, you're going to find time after time that all of the things that you wish for were completely unnecessary for this world out of nowhere. And maybe you will also start to, for example, feel resentment towards the world in which you live. At the end of the day, you also have to deal with the sad reality of, after seeing that all of the things you wanted to create not be valued, that maybe nothing that you can do is going to be valuable enough. And maybe in that same sense, after some time, you're going to get incredibly angry, my man, as anybody does. Because sadly, it happens that like that, we keep seeing day after day that all of our particular desires are so incredibly useless that, okay, maybe the only solution that we can find in such states of anger is to fucking destroy everything and stuff like that, but obviously that is only a way to say that it is not even close to being correct, the proper conclusion or anything of the sort, So yeah, I don't know. I guess the problem is not the problem, kind of the opposite. The real notion here is to see that although sometimes the world might believe that what you are going for is not necessary, as long as you can keep finding that it probably has an incredibly big value, you should keep going for it. Because allowing external influences to destroy your efforts is the worst thing that you can do. Even more, if you are nowhere of what you desire, and if you're a creator of a reality that tries to bring forth something good to reality itself. So yeah, I don't know. It is incredibly crazy to talk about creativity. I mean, it has so many fucking ends. I guess that is the that is the crazy thing. I don't know. Maybe in a sense, I feel sometimes that almost all of the things end up relating at one point or another to creativity, and try to talk about it from one point or from another, and try to see that you need to be creative in this way, you need to be creative in this other, you need to have this particular type of aspiration, you need to spend this much time being particularly focused on this set of tools, you need to realize how much anything works, and blah 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 blah. I don't know. I guess it is still amazing to keep talking about it. I guess. But I don't know. I mean, creativity, huh? But yeah, very, very nice. Give me a second. I want also to drink water. I am noticing that my throat is dying since. I mean, it has been dying this whole day. I don't know why. So yeah, let me drink water. Give me a second. 1 second. Okay. We have to continue with this whole tower, yes. I don't know why I'm going to do this one. I know what I have in mind, but I don't know what else to do to not have it be so plain, I guess. Anyways, aside from that, what the fuck? Why do I fucking get messages in my phone from a newspaper? Man, what the fuck? Anyways, going back. into something different, I guess. I don't know. It seems very interesting, the different things that are correlated overall. I mean, that is something that I have already talked about, but now I simply say it from the side of wow, truly amazing to see it happening. Like, you wouldn't believe that, for example, staying with feather might have any impact whatsoever in your mind sometimes if you haven't properly studied all of that stuff. And you will also not believe that your mind has any correlation whatsoever with your creativity, as it might as well be something completely different. Or that, for example, you can train being creative, that you can have creativity being more and more fluent on you the more you do it and the more you exert it. Or you can also, for example, not realize that a proper nutrition not only comes from the way in which you intake food, but also the way in which you see or perceive the food that you are intaking. And I don't know, there are so many connections that might as well not make any sense when you don't know about them, but when you can integrate all of those things into a whole coherent map of understanding of the world in which you live, all of those things have an incredibly impactful and an everlasting, I will say, impact, basically. Not simply impact, what is the other word? Importance. So yeah, I don't know. Very, very nice to see that. I mean, going back to it, very nice to see that it is possible for us to keep learning. And not only possible, as in, it is free to keep learning. And it is incredibly beneficial for us to do so. And I guess the benefit of doing it is sometimes disregarded. I don't know. I will guess only the childs don't believe that it is necessary or that it is in any way beneficial or something like that. But the rest of the world is incredibly able of saying it. I mean, it might as well be something like a bubble effect where you surround yourself with too many people that say literally the same as you. Maybe. I wish it wasn't like that. I hope the whole world had the possibility of realizing it. That being creative is one of the best things that you can have going in your life, that you can allow in your life to happen. Being a learner. Sorry for getting sidetracked. Being a learner and being somebody who is constantly intaking information and being somebody who is constantly seeking even more knowledge is truly important. I mean, not simply wow, it is important. No. It ends up aiding you in all of the different sides of reality in which you live. That is why it is important. That sense of importance. Not any particular order. That one. Wait. Let me make this 16. Yeah, basically that. I don't know. I guess how much time do I have? I guess I will finish painting this. I might try to put a timer, but I also don't like to get so focused that I don't have the possibility of talking about interesting stuff in the middle of it. I don't know. I believe it is possible to balance both things. I mean, not that I believe it. We have been literally seeing it happening here. I might, for example, I think if I had stayed completely in silence, as it happens, quote unquote, most of the time when you are creative, and you allow yourself to simply focus your mind on what you're creating, you end up also spending, let's say, half or even less. Holy fucking god, I missed that line and I am not going to do this move. Yes, I am not going to do that. Give me a second. How do I fix this? Give me a second. This, let's say, 6, I guess. Yeah, 6. There it is. Fucking fix. I am not going to reload that whole thing. I am sorry, guys. Now, I don't wish to redo all of that shit. Anyways, I was saying, I guess, yeah. And even more, I will try to argue. I don't know if it is logical or not to try and talk about something like that. Maybe it is only to enchants my argument against the reality of needing to be concentrated on whatever it is that you're creating, but maybe also allowing yourself to wander off while you're doing what you want. Your mind to go to different places is what allows things to be more enjoyable, I guess. I mean, in that sense, for example, I talk from experience in the sense of I know that if I have to sit down and stay in silence, or not only in silence, for example, having music, I don't enjoy creating any particular thing that might be or not related to art. That is why I also don't really hear that much music nowadays in that particular same front. So yeah, I guess in that sense, that might be a limiting factor. I don't know. I guess probably it is beneficial to have it happening as almost anything is. I mean, to allow yourself to stay focused, but also to have a tiny amount of chaos happening in the background is what allows creativity to be persistent. Although you are, let's say like this, maybe when you are trying to create something creative, sorry for going so many fucking times back to this, when you're trying to create something creative, by allowing it to have some factors related to chaos, like where your mind goes, while also having to stay focused in the particular creation, all of those things play a role in the amount of drive that you feel towards trying to create it. Because I wouldn't say that it is a type of meditation. I wanted to avoid mentioning meditations as I don't even understand that concept so far. It has been one of the hardest ones to grasp for me. But yeah, maybe it is a type of meditation that allows you to, let's say, find some benefits towards stuff like this. Because on one hand, you are consciously doing this. I mean, for example, here, I'm coloring a fucking quote-unquote tower. I am putting color on a canvas on a pixelated screen that represents a tower, somehow because the perspective allows it to happen, and the whole mental setup makes it seem like it is a tower, although it is, as I said before, pixels on a screen. Allowing that to happen while also having the possibility of knowing maybe that you are going to say completely random stuff, or that you are going to think about completely random stuff, is what also makes it more enjoyable, not because it isn't enjoyable by default, but rather that when you allow the chaos to enter these type of situations and you still keep being focused on what you want to do the most, it is in those occasions, yes, that you can say, wow, this was amazing, and this was what I enjoyed the most. But I don't know. I guess kind of crazy to say, to see, to experience. We're going to finish this, and I guess, yeah. I guess I will have time to put, I will have time to put some details. We are going to still need to put some other stuff later on. Sadly. Nah, not sadly. I mean, as it happens commonly, you know. But I guess, the perspective is kind of weird here. Can I have something coming from different angles and have okay, I want to do something like an electrical tower, and I can't envision if it can have all these parts be observable or not. Let's say, let me like this red, I think. No, this red, a more chill red, to not have so fucking screaming red. Let's say something like this. Beam. Holy fucking god! What a line. Beam. 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 Yeah. And here I don't know. I guess something like beam. No. Yes. I guess. Okay. Okay, it is still very, very tiny. No, it is too tiny. Yes. Fuck. This is too tiny. What did I undo? Wait. Brush. Redo. Wait. I undid something and I don't know which one it was, but nothing really happened. Okay, give me a second. I guess something this type of B should be right. I mean, it isn't at a B so far, so maybe like this. Okay. Yes, sorry if the lines are incredibly wobbly. I have the worst type of pulls that somebody has had so far. So yeah, don't believe that lines are going to be straight in the slightest here. I can't produce good lines. Sorry for failing you, master. I just work here like this. Something like this, yeah, okay, there we have it. Now the problem is to connect all the lines. Haha, how much time do we have left? Oh no, I will have to concentrate. No. You know what? Yeah, we're going to do this later. Anyways, transition. Yeah. Sadly, I have to get a rework here. I have to say that this is all we can do so far. But yeah, we still have some stuff to do. We have like 2 to 3 buildings more to paint, to give detail and all of that. So I don't know where we going to end with all of this craziness. I guess in a sense that at least we're advancing towards somewhere. So yeah, very nice. But anyways, once again, we're solving here, but we will have to. I guess in this occasion I will try to write someone. Not in this occasion, as always, I will try to write someone as it is proper to. So yeah, let me see if I can find someone in the meanwhile. But yeah, as always, thanks for being here, thanks for watching, thanks for lurking, thanks for watching the VOD, thanks for everything. It was very nice, I guess. Yeah, I can't say that I'm sorry for talking about the things that I enjoy. I mean, I enjoy them, that is why I talk about them. So yeah. No need to be mean, but also kind of obvious. If you don't enjoy what I talk about, you have the possibility of leaving, my man. There is no obligation whatsoever of staying here. Know that I literally pressure nobody to stay. I might as well try it sometimes, or I might make what I say seem more important than what it is by attributing it the quality of being by itself. Important, yes, but I don't know. Not that I don't know, yes. I know that it isn't in the slightest the most important thing that you can hear. You will find more important knowledge somewhere else, I will guess. But yeah, anyways, what I wanted to say is once again, thanks for being here. Now we're going to leave with a raid to, let me see. He isn't going to end the stream so soon, just in case, no? Give me a second. I might want to watch this. Okay, yeah. I guess he isn't going to leave. So, we're going to raid over to Rad. Yeah, Rad. Raid. We're going to raid over to Kisaragi guys, who is in this case playing Fortnite. We're going to get some beautiful entertainment or brain relax after so much talking, after so much mental exertion and so much incredibly tiring babbling, you know? So yeah, thanks as always. Now, I guess, yeah, we're going to take a leave. We're going to be released from the pain that is to be here sometimes. But yes, once again, thanks for being here. Well, now, I guess, once again, we are simply going to take our time and to get entertained with something else. In this case, raiding to Kisaraya is doing Fortnite. And well, until that occasion in which we get back to here arises, thanks for everything. Remember to stay safe, remember to stay nice, to stay happy, to stay hydrated, to rest if it is necessary. And well, if it doesn't happen at the very least, we showed what we had here. Now, as I said before, yes, writing who Kisaraya is doing for night. Hey, thanks for everything. Now, sorry for making it so long. Right. Goodbye, people, and thanks once again. Right.